This is Michael the Mechanical, and today I'm just giving you a tiny update. I bought a whole bunch of crates. There's about 8 here, and I've got a total of 9. And that's because one of them's already in here that I bought as a, sort of figure out whether it's actually going to work or not. They are $25 each. I decided I'm only going to need 7 per shelf. So there's going to be 7 there, and then there's going to be a few spares. So there's going to be 2 to 3 spares. I'm going to start by building my stupid crates. I'm going to call them stupid crates, and I'm going to unpack everything from this shelf here and start moving stuff off of here. So we can at least move this somewhere else, and I'm going to end up putting on all the top up there and identify what parts are probably when I get a chance. So that's what my job is right now. I'm going to be building the crates and doing that. As you can see, still a mess. We're also looking into doing 3D printing, so depending on if that's successful or not, there's some opportunities there, because I'm going to end up making parts for cars, maybe. If it's viable, then I have something I can make content about if it can bring in some income. So, at the moment, I'm going to give you the news. I've been made redundant from work, but it's stupid because I'm an obstruction at work. It's cute because that's not true at all. I did have people obstruct someone from learning, therefore I had to, in some ways, what they call obstruction, obstruct them to give that person a chance to learn, and then I was made redundant. So, to get an idea of what the picture is, someone was trained up by them, had a lack of training, and therefore didn't get trained properly. Then when I wanted to try and train this person up, every single time people were just doing all the orders and doing all the work that he never got an opportunity to do it. So when he could have done it, it couldn't be done because everyone else would just hog it, and then he doesn't get experience. This hurt the team in multiple ways, that it made it harder for him to understand the processes and the pipeline in which we operate, and therefore, because he didn't know how we operated, he was doing things not very coordinated, and they could have really, fired him over the fact that he didn't know what he was doing. So I ended up pleading with my teammates and please give me just a whole day to sort of train on the bench, and they're all about having a free-for-all sort of thing where they say, it's the luck of the draw, mate. If I get there first, I'm booking it. And with the machines, same thing. If I get there first, I'm booking it. I'm trying to play with my team for efficiency and optimization, because there's only 2 of us that could drive one machine, and then everyone else could drive the other machine but didn't have training to use the other machine. So then there was this unevenness about the team where there was 4 of us that could operate one machine and only 2 of us that could operate the other. And in that case, it does hurt the team because we can't exactly, get all the orders picked efficiently when especially we run out of orders on one level or another. They should really splice with more machines, but since I'm no longer on the team, I've been made redundant, and because of all the complications with multiple correlating deadlines across multiple systems, multiple benches, it made things really challenging, especially if we had a peaking wave, like a heavy wave. My teammates apparently say, even after I've gone, they don't really think they need a team leader. Nah, we don't. And it's mostly the 2 that have the biggest problems with doing the work that say we don't need a team leader. And therefore, I see a picture where they're incapable of identifying that they need a team leader because they are struggling, but yet they don't recognize it in themselves. They are denying that they're struggling. And they're capable of doing work, but one of them is doing less work than they should. They should be doing more than they do. And then the other one is confusing themselves, but also breaking the pipeline and hurting the team in a way. It's like, I'm going to just take all this stuff without it getting processed correctly, and then once it's picked and packed and wrapped, oh yeah, it's ready, it's been booked, should be right, mate. And then we put it out, or it gets left behind or whatever. I ended up taking pictures of things. Therefore, if my supervisors really wanted to question me, really wanted to see this evidence, I would have had evidence. They don't want the evidence. That's them hurting the team. Okay, so I am fine. I've let people I know internally and through a legal representative that they need to let them know that they need a team leader. Because right now we had a really rough week, identified the problems throughout the week. My team leader failed my team and failed me. I asked for oversight to identify problems, they rejected. And they were asking me, when I'm focused on doing my work, to tell them who the hell is doing all this weird shit that's causing these problems. And I say, I don't know. Well, you should know. Or how am I supposed to know? I'm focused on doing my work, is essentially what I should be saying. But I'm struggling to communicate that. So what I've realized is, I know who the problems are, and I know part of the reasons why, but I don't know the full reasons why they're making these mistakes and why are they not doing all the work. They can say, I'm not confident, they can say whatever they want, but I think they're just confusing themselves. And then the domino effect happens, and when they confuse themselves and do things outside the pipeline, others who follow and stick to the pipeline have that skewed point where it's like, I don't know where this is in the pipeline, and I don't know if it's back there or over here. I don't know if it's been processed correctly, and they just do what they do, and then things don't go on time, or things happen, and then we lose customers. So, not my problem anymore, and I hope they realise eventually that, oh yeah, they hurt the team by getting rid of me, and I hope they go shit. But you know what, I hope they don't try to ask me to come in, because at the end of the day, if they really want to get me back, I'm just going to be like, no, I'm not coming back unless I'm getting paid this much per hour. Otherwise, find someone else. Because they just hurt the team by getting rid of me, and because I'm looking for other opportunities now. Because I did too much work with no compensation whatsoever, and then I get sacked for it, in a sense of redundancy. Redundancy being they might want me back in future, but at the end of the day, I'm going to reject going back, because they're not really going to treat me right, or listen to me properly, or give my team what they need. They don't... You know, there's some people who listen, some people don't. They tell me to follow the chain of command. I try to do that, but then you get knocked back. And you try to follow things in sense of what you know and who you know and whatnot, and then people knock you back. If I'm not allowed to use my knowledge to help resolve issues and find out a solution as quickly as possible when I'm asked to, then that's hurting the team. I'm not trying to obstruct the team, and I'm not going to try and chase up a team leader who is unable to, you know, how do you put it, who is all over the place, who does not have time to spend with a group of people who are probably going to have to deal with the most complex operation out of all of them at the end of the day. Even though it seems small, the thing is, for us it's complicated, but for the bigger side of things, the bigger operation, that is in its own way complicated, but to the simple-minded person it's easy. However, to the higher-ups, they see it as more complicated. With our operation across 4 different benches with multiple different problems, and in a compact environment and space all close together, and the way we have to operate and to handle issues and problems and stuff and logistics, it is a really complicated problem that the team is not equipped to handle. So that team is going to eventually fail. And they're going to fail especially when the waves hit. So when we have lots of customers over all 4 benches at the same time. It's rare, it sort of vaguely happened once, but lucky it was only one day that happened. However, if they want to expand and get more and more business, it's going to get hectic, it's going to get worse. People miss me, some people miss me, some people are not going to miss me because, he was bossing me around. I wasn't really trying to boss anyone around. I was trying to help solve some issues, such as someone's lack of training. I had to be bossy in that situation. Then with the situation where, what do we call it? When we have runs that need to go out in time, I say, please, can you pick this urgently? Or can you pick this urgently, please? And they say yes, and I say thank you. And I give it to them and let them go. But the rudest people that operate with an urgent order, they come into my face and they're with a piece of paper, here, pick it. So at the end of the day, no, I don't view myself as being rude as they put me out to be or make me out to be. I view some other situations as rude. I'd love to know what people's thoughts are, because it's just, in my eyes, I want to move on. I'm going to find something else. And this is like an opportunity to consider. I can't rely on businesses that exist to give me, reliable work and keep me employed. I've got to rely on finding something that works for me and have a business that works. So something viable, something that allows me to use what knowledge I have and work with stuff and solve problems and fix things. Hopefully with less negativity along the way, but you never know. In any sort of business, you're going to get a lot of negativity. I hate negativity, but there's nothing I can do about it. Thank you very much. I'm Michael Mechanical, signing out.